Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Zach. I'm a photographer and videographer, but more important than that, I'm a husband and a father. And today we're talking about all the accessories that I use with my DJI Pocket 3, my go-to accessories that just can at times make filming better or allow me to film things differently. These are all things I use from time to time. I don't necessarily use all of these at every given moment, but I'll walk you through the different pieces of accessories that I use, the reasons why I use them, what they can do, and all of that. I will link all of these items down below. I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. These are affiliate links. So if you do want to purchase any of these things, I do appreciate if you use those links. If you enjoyed this video, I do appreciate if you hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. And in the comments, let me know which of these different accessories is the one that you're most excited for. But with that, let's jump into talking about accessories for the DJI Pocket 3. Now, the DJI Pocket 3, fantastic little gimbal family vlog camera. I use this as my everyday vlog camera. I made multiple videos about this. I love this camera. And I bought it just like this. I did not buy the creator combo, so I didn't get the battery extension or the mic that came with it or any of that. I bought it just like this, and I did start my purchase with the little extension grip that just clips onto the bottom. For me, I felt like having it in a grip like this just made it a little bit easier to hold. Without this little extension, it's just kind of too small in my hands. I feel like I'm covering up the microphones, and it didn't feel as comfortable. So this definitely helped me feel more comfortable filming it. On top of that, it also has a 3/4 mount on the bottom, so you can attach a tripod too. Currently, have not been using this as of late, and I'll get into that in a minute. But this is what I started with. I did get this, purchase this additionally, or did it come with it? I think it came with it. I don't think I purchased it additionally. I'll double check that. But this was with my original purchase. And then I also had the case that came with it. So we're going to start with the case because that's the first thing first, right? So this is the original DJI case that comes with the Pocket. It's super nice because the Pocket fits in there so well. It feels, when you have it in here, so well protected. It feels durable. And the other thing that I love about it is they created this in such a way that it fits a lot of the primary accessories that you would want to use that come directly from DJI. So there's this little piece up here where you can attach your microphone to, and just slides in there like that. And now you're just easily able to keep that with you. You don't have to worry about throwing that in a pocket. On the inside, there are little slots for your wide angle lens as well as a mist filter. So that is nice and handy that you can just keep those little accessories with you. To me, this is a great case. It's a very durable case, but there's one big problem for it. It's just too bulky. For me, I found myself that I would keep the camera in the case like this and then throw it in the bag. And then I would start filming and I would pull it out of the case, and I just felt like the case was in the way. Or if I wanted to go out and I didn't want to have a bag, I just ended up leaving the case at home and sticking the Pocket in my pocket because I didn't want to have this in my pocket while I was filming. It just felt a little too bulky for me. And so for that reason, I stopped using it a lot, but I didn't like the feeling of just having this without a case. I mean, this is a delicate camera, right? The gimbal can be damaged. The screen can be damaged. The lens can be damaged. So I didn't love the idea of going caseless. That's when I came across this guy. So this is a real simple, minimal case. Super cheap, honestly. It came from Amazon. I think it was like 11 bucks. But it does the job of what I wanted to do. Basically, you just flip it open, stick the camera in like that, flip it closed, and there. It protects your screen. It protects your gimbal. It won't let the gimbal flip open. Now, obviously, this is not a durable case. Like if you drop this, it's not really protecting all that much. But it does the job that I wanted, which was it keeps the gimbal from moving around. It keeps the screen protected. It keeps the lens protected. For me, that's it. And then when I'm not using it, it's so small and minimal that I don't mind throwing it in my pocket. I don't really notice it or throwing it in the bag. I love that. So I've switched away from the main DJI case and have gone over to this little guy. Next, let's talk about tripods. So like I said, I did not buy the creator combo, so I didn't get the tripod that came with it. Recently though, I came across something from a company called Ulanzi, and this is their little tripod. It's the cutest little thing. I mean, like, it just reminds me of like a tiny little animal. I mean, look at this. Like these little legs, they flip out. They flip out. And yeah, I mean, what I love about this is it's a tiny little tripod, but when it's not in use, they just flip closed. And there's actually like little rubber on the bottom here. So it really does help it stay in place. So these two pieces separate. So you've got the piece that connects to the camera itself. You've got the USB here. There is a USB in so that you can still charge it or plug it into your computer. And then the tripod just attaches to it. So that's really, really handy to me. To me, I just always keep it on there because I think it's tiny enough that it doesn't make a difference. And this gets to what I was saying earlier about how I don't use the extension grip anymore. And that is because of this tripod. I've just been using this and it gives me enough. I have a good enough grip. Maybe I don't have as much of a pinky grip on there, but I have good enough grip that it doesn't notice. But it's so nice to have your tripod always attached, to literally just be like, oh yeah, good to go. Now you probably did see that I did have the DJI Mic 2. This is actually from my whole DJI Mic 2 wireless system. I did not buy the creator combo again, so I did not get this with it. I just decided that I was already going to buy the DJI Mic 2 system, so might as well just use one of those when I'm not needing it for other stuff. So for the most part, this one just kind of sticks with the camera and I use it when I need it for the camera. And if I need to go back to professional work, I'll just switch it back over to connect to the receiver. So, but having a mic is fantastic. I won't use this a lot for family stuff. More so if I'm like doing vlogs that are specifically for this channel, I'll use this. If I'm just filming the family, I don't use it because I don't really feel like I need the audio from it. The audio from this camera is great as it is for what I'm using it for. So next, let's talk about filters. So I have 4 filters that I use, 3 ND filters right here, and then 1 black mist filter. So the ND filters are really nice if you're going to be shooting in bright sun. In all reality, I got these just to have them. I don't use them all that often. If you don't know what ND filters are, they're basically sunglasses for your camera. So when it comes to shooting professionally and cinematically, the amount of light you let into your camera controls a lot of things. So you can't control the aperture on this camera, but you can control your shutter speed and your ISO. So in all reality, you want your shutter speed to be double what your frame rate is. So if you're shooting in 60 frames per second, you want your shutter speed to be 120. If you're shooting in 23 frames per second, you want your shutter speed to be 50. You can adjust your light coming in by adjusting your ISO. But what if you're outside and it's super bright and you can't bring your ISO down anymore? The only thing you could do is crank that shutter speed. That's fine in most cases, and for family vlogging, I don't care. But if I am using this a little bit more professionally, I have used this at weddings from time to time just to get a really wide angle or to let the bridal party use this. I do care a little bit more, and so that's when I might slap one of these ND filters on. That way I still get good lighting, but I don't have to worry about cranking my shutter speed. So super nice to have those. The other filter that I have, and this one I use a lot more. Yeah, this is a black mist filter from Ulanzi. And basically what a mist filter does is it just kind of blooms the highlights. So it's really nice because if you want a little bit more of a cinematic shot, something like this can be really handy. It'll bloom those highlights. It will smooth skin tones. Just everything look pretty and a little dreamlike. Not fully, like if you get a much higher level of this, yeah. But this one's just enough to kind of bloom the highlights a little bit, make everything just look a little bit more smooth and cinematic in my mind. And then what's really nice about using this mist filter is that 1, it just allows you to get, like I said, more cinematic looking shots, but 2, it's also protecting that lens. So now if I scratch the lens filter, then I just have to replace the lens filter. I don't have to replace the entire camera because I can't replace the lens. What's also nice is I can just keep it on there all the time. It's so small and you can kind of see how tiny that is on there. What's really nice is that when it folds up, it just folds up in there still, so that it's not actually, this isn't doing anything to block the focus. So it can stay on there the entire time. I don't have to like keep it in a case or whatever. I can just leave it on. So that's super, super nice. Okay, and then the next one is the accessories extension thing from DJI. Is that what they call it? Expansion Adapter. It is a really nice little thing that just clips to your camera. So you open it up, place the camera inside. Now you've got this little expansion adapter on here. And what this is used for is, one, you get a cold shoe mount here. So you could attach an additional thing. So say I wanted to like rig this thing out, I could do that. I could attach something like a light to it. Now I've got a light on my face. I'm always able to like go and vlog like this. I think that's a little bit much. I don't actually use it for this. But I know there are some people out there who will, and that's perfectly fine. Like this is what it's made for. That's great. So that is a nice feature to have. You could also attach your DJI mic to it. Like if you didn't want to necessarily put the DJI mic on yourself, you could just attach it like this. And now I can walk around like this. This is actually really nice if like I'm giving it to people to go use at a wedding. I can attach it like this. And then they can walk around. They're getting that mic, which is a little bit better than the internal mics. If they're talking to it and stuff like that. I don't use it all that often, but that is a good feature for it. The main reason why I got this extension adapter, or whatever they're calling it, expansion adapter, is for this piece here, so that I can attach this to a few mounts and use it hands-free, which then leads me to my next accessory, which I don't actually have here, but I'll show you some B-roll of it. So my next accessory is a car mount. I'm the kind of person who has always had a mount in my vehicle for my camera. So when I got my first GoPro, the GoPro Session 4, I think it was, like I put a mount in my car. And ever since then, I've always had a mount in my car for my cameras because I like to just do a lot of talking to the camera while I'm driving. It's a nice space for me to kind of do like a video journal and just speak out some of the things I'm experiencing or thinking or whatever. For me, that's really nice. But it's also really cool to be able to use on trips. So if we're driving down the road, I can turn the camera on and I can be talking to it. We can be documenting what's happening. We can, give a little bit of an intro to a trip or whatever. Or we can then turn the camera around and we can film the road. We can get like a time lapse or a hyperlapse of our journey, stuff like that. But I think that's a really handy tool. When I'm not using it, it just sits there unused. Actually, I've used it as a hat hook before, which is kind of nice, but it's a really handy tool to have in the car so that if I want to get those shots of me driving or of the road, or I want to just do some video journaling, I can do that. And then my final accessories aren't really, they are accessories. They don't relate directly to the camera, but I always recommend that people get a little battery pack. I think the battery extension grip is a bit ridiculous. It's so long and it's just not needed with a camera that can fast charge up to 80% in 10 minutes. So instead, I always just keep a portable charger in my bag, and that way I can quickly fast charge my camera up. And then plus side, I can use this to charge my phone or my AirPods or whatever. Usually it's my wife's stuff, but that's to me super handy and way more practical than the battery extension. Okay, so the next one is SD card. So with the Pocket 3, I use a 128 gigabyte SanDisk Extreme, and this has never let me down. It's a fast enough card. It's got enough storage on there. I think I've got 4 hours of filming when I have this, and I'm filming in 2K. So that's fantastic. If you do want to get more, you can go 256 gigabytes, so you can double that. So that's perfect for me. But it is important to have a good SD card in there. You want to have a card that is fast enough and large enough for you. On top of that, I always keep a spare. I know this is not the right way to put an SD card in, but I don't have fingernails. Okay. So on top of that, I always keep an additional SD card in my bag so that if I do run out of space, I can just pop this out, pop a new one in. To me, I think walking around without one is just asking for trouble. So, and then next is an SSD. So you're filming so much stuff on this. You're filming all your family memories. You want to have a place to back that up to. So I have a 4 terabyte SanDisk SSD, and this has been perfect for storing all of my footage. I've got multiple of these that I use for different things, work projects, wedding projects, YouTube. This is my one for family, and it has just been fantastic. I still have probably 2 terabytes left on here open. And then the final thing is just the DJI Mimo app. So I've talked about all the things that go into helping you shoot it. The Mimo app is fantastic for helping you then edit your footage. There's so many nice tools in there. I've got a whole nother video about it that you can go check out, but that is not one of those things that I think people think of as an accessory, but it is definitely a very handy accessory for your DJI Pocket 3. And if you haven't checked it out, I encourage you to check it out. So that's it. That's all the accessories that I use for my DJI Pocket 3. Why I like them, why I don't like them, whatever. But I hope that's helped you. I hope that's helped you figure out, like, are there accessories that you should pick up for yours? Or are there ones that you haven't even thought of or something you want to try out? Let me know in the comments, which of these accessories is the one that you're like, ooh, I like that. I want to try that out. And like I said, links are all down below. If you like this video, please do hit that subscribe button. Let me know what kind of videos you'd like me to make, and we'll see you in the next one.